Fuck yeah.
Yeah, customer service. How may I assist you?
Hi, I just received a phone call that I'm eligible for a $100 gift card.
Right, correct. We have $100 Visa gift vouchers, which we're giving away currently, and these are good at anywhere that accepts Visa as a form of payment.
Okay, what's the catch?
No catch. We just asked you to take a quick 5-question survey with us, and then we'll mail that on out to you.
Okay.
All right. And we're just going to fill out the indicating information here. I assume that you're female. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, female. And can I get an age range of 10 years? You don't have to give me your exact age, just a range.
Mid-70s.
Okay, fantastic. All right. And do you shop at Walmart?
Yes.
Okay, great. And this is about your shopping experiences at Walmart. When you shop at Walmart, how often do you go to your local Walmart?
That's difficult to say because I shop a variety of stores, and I'm just by myself, so I don't need a whole lot of stuff.
Okay. All right. So let's see here. And let's see here. When you make a trip to Walmart, what is the average amount that you spend in a shopping trip?
More than I should.
More than you should.
More than I should, yes.
All right.
I don't
Now,
know if that helps.
Let's see here. What is your purpose for going to Walmart?
There's a lot of things I can find there that are much less expensive than when I find them at other stores.
Okay. What does Walmart do better than everyone else? Why do you choose Walmart over others?
Well, I think they have a larger variety of. I like to do one-stop shopping, and I can pick up a lot of things at Walmart in one stop rather than having to run all over town. Stores.
They wanted to know also, what do you think about their current homeless shopper policy? What they do is they've been hiring homeless people off of the streets to be cashiers and stock people. And then they go ahead and they just put them in the back and they sleep in the back of the store when they're off shift.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. That's how they keep the prices so low, because they only pay them $3.95 an hour, and then they give them free lodging in the back.
Yeah, which is a good idea.
Mm-hmm. And then they also wanted to know what you thought about their illegal immigrant management program. They like to take people that are undocumented in this country and shoot them right up to management positions.
That I don't know about, because my husband managed a cold storage here for years, and our son still works there. Mm-hmm. And the berry farmers were the raspberry capital of the world. And the berry farmers used to hire a lot of illegals, and they built them nice little small homes, like maybe 1 bedroom or no bedroom, but they were clean and they kept them neat. And the owner of one of the berry farmers, one of the biggest growers, his wife would go down to Value Village, Goodwill, wherever, and pick up small children's clothes and take them home and launder and iron them, and then take them out, and she'd bake homemade cookies. I mean, these are people that had money, and they would take them out to the migrant workers, and which just floored me, that somebody with their money would do something so kind.
Right.
But then the government came in and said, well, no, I don't think so. I guess it was picking strawberries that they were picking. Mm-hmm. And the kids around here pick strawberries too, the ones that are too young to work. But the government got so bad about it, they just plowed under their strawberry fields and planted blueberries and raspberries. And it's sad,
Yeah. Well, what they're doing here at Walmart is currently they're only taking males and promoting them to managerial and supervisor positions. And the women, their wives, sisters, mothers, they're all being separated for the brothel that they're running in the back in the dairy section. And so we were trying to get input on that as well.
Now that's something I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, they're running a breeding mill in the back with the illegal women, and they're paying them around minimum wage, a little bit more than the homeless people that are in the back. But behind the dairy coolers, they're actually running. I don't want to say a brothel, but it's a. We'll just stick with a breeding mill. All the women are of age, though. They're all 18 and above. And they're just trying to breed the women in the back in order to repopulate the employees of the stores in the areas.
Yeah, I definitely disagree with that.
Okay.
I don't think any woman, what nationality, should be used as a baby maker.
Okay. Even though in traditional societies, that's usually the role of a woman.
Well, I do, but if they're doing it for the wrong purposes, I just.
Well, their purposes are trying to populate the different Walmart stores with quality workers. Of course, they wouldn't be able to actually be useful workers until they were at least 16 years of age. So they got to invest some time, some money into the children themselves. And again, the women are. They're not being held against their will. They're being paid. They're essentially, I would guess, legal prostitution, but it's not prostitution because for the purposes of breeding for children and workers. So, I mean, they're not being held against their will, is I guess how the corporate still disagree with it. Okay.
Yeah, we have a son right now that went through school with his family in his 40s. Went to work for Intel in Oregon. Oh. And then his wife finally, after 24 years, just suddenly filed for divorce. And he had to move back up where we're living because the cost of living is so much less expensive than Portland. And by the time he pays everything, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I just don't agree with the purpose of populating. And my husband was in my mind is just going blank, corporate management for 40 some years. And
let me guess, at Kohl's, he sounds like a Kohl's man.
No, he started out with Safeway.
Oh, okay.
And then he worked for Reese's Fine Foods out of Beaverton, Oregon. And then he took the job up here because he was on the road so much, flying to different states and in the car 60,000 miles a year, that he had back problems and he was just sick all the time. So he was offered a job up here managing the cold storage. So he's been in the food industry all of his career since he was 16 years old. And I don't know, he used to have college kids come in with graduate degrees and want to apply at Safeway for a management job. And I think everybody should have to work their way up. And I struggle with the illegals. And my grandmother was Native American, so I have no problem. We were taught people are people. Nationality does not matter. But I don't think using Walmart as a breeding ground would definitely be against my
yeah, Walmart actually gets fined by the federal government if they don't hire enough illegals in one given year. They actually face a 10% of their GDP is deducted from each store. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, with the breeding, though, because the children are then born in America, they're no longer considered illegal. So they run into an issue there where they're still keeping the women employed in the back in the breeding, in the breeding mill. But the children are American, so then we have to ship them off to to other jobs. because they're not really hiring Americans these days. Just
Well,
kind of illegals.
the thing I have problems with that, if the child is born in America,
Hmm.
like this just recent thing that they did where they split kept the American babies in the States and
Right.
separated them from their parents and sent the parents back to Mexico.
Hmm.
That was, to me, that's just horrible. I don't know what the solution is, but I think a mother, unless they're being abused or something like that, should never be separated from its child.
Right, and we have a little bit of a problem with the breeding mills themselves because it's just random customers that come in, ones that have done, I guess, surveys online, and like their prize is to go ahead and come in and pick out a woman to breed with, and then the documents that get lost, so we don't know who the children actually belong to.
Jeez, I don't like that.
Um, but again, they signed up for it because they're making a better wage. And then we, of course, as Walmart, we get kickbacks because then they're not on the food stamps or social services anymore.
Well, as a Christian, I have certain values that I feel need to be followed, and that is not among my values. I just don't think that's right.
Right. Yeah. These were initially policies that were set under the Obama administration, and then Walmart was very upset when Hillary Clinton didn't make it into office and decided to go ahead and still follow her recommendations. They actually still have her come in and consult with how to make more money with the cheapest labor.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my family is from Arkansas. I was not born there, but my parents and all of their families were, both of them. And that was when Bill and Hillary, well, Bill was the governor back there, and let me tell you, you don't want to hear some of the stories that we know about this time when we had Trump and Hillary.
Mm-hmm.
We had no choice, the worst of the worst, and right. I wasn't a popular fan of Obama either, although he did get some free medical care, which has helped my family. My brother and younger brother and his wife were in the six-figure income brackets, and one got laid off, and then the next year the other one got laid off, and they both needed surgeries. So Obamacare did. It was expensive, but at least they covered the surgeries, and that part I did agree with. But
yeah.
And then our son that just left Intel because he couldn't afford to stay in the area and pay child and spousal support and rent an apartment. They had to liquidate everything, their house, right. His pension, everything. And I don't know. I mean, it was just... they spent all that money to go to school, and it was just for nothing, But he's having a hard time up here where we live on the Canadian border.
Okay.
We're on the U.S. side of the Canadian border.
Okay.
But there are no decent paying jobs up here. They're all minimum wage.
Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever bought milk from Walmart?
Not recently.
Okay.
I usually buy that from Fred Meyer's because that's where I get my prescriptions.
Okay.
And there's a certain brand that has a longer code date. Because I buy like a half gallon at a time, and that'll last me until it, I drink very little milk.
Yeah, we looked at, we're bringing in the cheaper milk to compete with Fred Meyer, and I was just going to let you know the Great Value brand that we have here at Walmart is actually it's being sourced from the breeding mill. It's actually human milk. But nobody seems to be able to tell the difference between cow and human.
Oh.
Yeah, it's breast milk.
I did not know that.
Well, the women, after they've become impregnated, they come on in, and then we have them get on their hands and knees, and then a couple of the employees will grab a stool and a bucket, and then they will go ahead and
Are
milk
you
them.
serious?
Yeah, we don't have the space for like a suction, like to hook her udders up. So we have someone come in with a pail and a stool, and they manually milk them.
Do you work for Walmart?
I do.
That is just unbelievable. What
Well,
brand milk is that?
I took a tour of the facility, and they actually let me try to milk this 35-year-old Puerto Rican woman, and it was rather easy, to tell you the truth. I got a full 5 gallons out of her, just in one milking.
Jeez.
That's a great value brand that you were asking about.
Okay, yeah, I will not purchase that anymore.
It's quality. It's sure a great value.
Well, I don't care. It's still, I just think that's abusing the people as human beings.
Well,
They're
no,
just
they're
like
being
cattle.
paid, so we want to get the most out of our employees.
But I don't agree with any of that. That just
No.
really, I may change my mind and not shop at Walmart anymore.
Well, you definitely don't want to know what we've substituted with the great value Hershey's bars.
Well, that's something too I didn't know.
Yeah, we put breast milk in there, but it's also 75% human excrement.
But it's not Hershey's chocolate bars, is it?
No, it's great value. It's the Hershey's imitation.
Okay.
Yeah,
No. The only one I ever buy is Hershey's.
Hershey's. Yeah. Sometimes we take ours and we switch it into the Hershey's wrapper, and then we just sell it for a higher price when we're putting it out for lower. So like our candy bar is only costing us 15 cents a unit to make, and then we sell it as a Hershey's for around $1.50. So we're making quite the profit.
That's illegal. That is illegal.
We're Walmart. We can do as we please. I mean, we're running human breast milk through the store, ma'am.
I realize that, but does the customer know that? How many customers?
If the customer read the back of the bar and the ingredients, I'm sure they would figure out that when instead of just saying 2% milk on the back with the ingredient, how much water, it said human breast milk as the first ingredient, then they would be informed. But as long as it's on the label, then we're good. We're in the clear. It's not really required by the FDA. From now on,
the only thing I will buy at Walmart will be non-food products.
Non-food products. Okay, all right.
I usually go in there for office supplies and things of that nature, and occasionally clothing, but they changed our Walmart a few years ago, and I don't like it as well because it used to have a large volume of certain items, and now they have a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of... And so I have to be honest, I don't shop there as often as I used to.
All right. Well, that's the problem, that when we have illegal workers and homeless people, they tend to take stuff off the shelf during their shifts. So then we have to bring them in by one and do a penis lineup to see who stole what.
Jeez.
We actually line them up, and then we'll bring customers in who can ID their penis. They line them up, and they'll tell us which one did it.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Or is this just a crank call?
No, it's 100% true. It's the only way, because people's faces, they look the same, but penises don't look the same. Because we'll bring them in and we'll set them down.
I really don't care to discuss anything about men's male parts.
Okay. So we explain to them the situation. We're like, we need to question you, and then we put their penis in ink, we roll it like a fingerprint, and then we have the witness come in and identify the penis.
Sir, I don't wish to continue this conversation. When you're talking about things like that.
I can't even forget about the glory holes that we just put in at that location.
Well, I'll tell you, $100 or not, it's not worth listening to this. And I probably will send Walmart a letter and say, because of this phone call, I will no longer be shopping there. And I know my granddaughter has 2 little boys. They shop there a lot.
I mean, it's fine. You're just one customer. We can afford it.
Well, I don't know.
And yeah, I get this from time to time when I talk to Hillary Clinton supporters. They question our methods and how we run things. 300 million people shop at Walmart every day.
Oh boy, I tell you, I think I will think twice again before I go in there and shop.
How old is your granddaughter?
She's 30.
You think she'd be interested in the breeding mill?
No way.
It's very lucrative.
She has very high values, and she would. Sir, I'm going to hang up on you. This is just getting beyond.
May I have her phone number, please, so I could do a quick survey with her?
Absolutely not.
I can compensate you another $50 for the number.
I don't care. I will not give out her phone number. That is only given to family members.
Okay, how about her address?
I don't know her address.
You don't know her address? Okay, what's her name?
I'm not telling you anything else.
Do you know her social security number?
Well, of course not.
Oh. What about her birthday?
I'm not telling you that.
Do you know where she does her banking?
No, I don't.
What type of car does she drive?
Sir, I'm not giving you any information.
Does she have children?
About any member in my family. And I'm going to hang up now.
Does she have children?
I'm not answering that.
Okay, well, I need to know if the milk ducts are open.
I'm hanging up on you, sir. This is absolutely, I'm going to call my local Walmart.
That is very rude to hang up on me, ma'am. Ask them about this. That's not very Christian-like. That's not very Christian-like to hang up on me. It's very rude.
Well, it's very rude, the things that you're discussing with me.
I'm being honest. You said you wanted to be...
And the man's male parts. That's something that we never talk about in our family.
Well, you said you wanted to be informed.
Not for things like that. If my boys were here, they would, and you were around, they would knock you off your.
Well, if you want to go through life being ignorant of the facts, ma'am, that's your prerogative.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to hang up, and I'm going to make another phone call.
Okay, may I have your son's phone number?
Absolutely not. I'm not giving you anybody's phone number. I'm not giving you anybody's information.
I mean, why would your sons use violence? Normal people don't use violence. We talk through our problems.
They wouldn't use violence, per se, unless you got nasty with them, and then they would hang up. I'm not talking to you anymore.
That's a freedom of speech, ma'am. Oh, that was a long call. Jesus Christ. Sounds like bad parenting. Yeah, probably. That was a long call. Oh, somebody recorded that shit.